Words reserved.
Did you know bad bacteria causes cavities and tooth decay? Did you know bad bacteria feed off residue left by sugary foods and drinks? Keep your family healthy. Your smile matters.
Be sure to brush 2 times daily for at least 2 minutes with fluoride toothpaste.
Floss once a day and limit sugary foods and drinks like sweetened juices, candies, and sodas.
Even sugar-free carbonated drinks can be harmful to teeth. Be sure to visit your dentist for regular checkups and cleanings. If you don't have a dentist, visit yoursmileutah.org for more information on community dental services. This message is brought to you by Utah Oral Health Coalition, Utah Dental Association, University of Utah School of Dentistry, the Utah Department of Health and Human Services, and other Utah health partners. Remember, a healthy smile means a healthier life. Learn more at yoursmileutah.org.
Because your smile matters.
Are you ready for a new you in the new year? The Salt Lake City Fat Loss Program has helped thousands of frustrated men and women feel confident in their clothes, boost their energy, and finally feel like themselves again. So, what's the secret? Salt Lake City Fat Loss uses a science-proven plan to help reset your metabolism and lose up to 1 pound of fat per day without dangerous drugs or exercise. And right now is the perfect time to start. Due to overwhelming demand, Salt Lake City Fat Loss has extended their huge New Year's sale, over 20% off for a limited time only.
JJ here. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. Alex Curie here. I dropped 50 pounds in 60 days on the SLC Fat Loss program. Get their New Year's special at slcfatloss.com.
Whether you want to love what you see in the mirror again, boost your energy, fit better in your clothes, or feel more confident and healthier as you age, Salt Lake City Fat Loss works. Huge New Year's sale is ending soon. Schedule your free consultation today at slcfatloss.com and lock in your savings. That's slcfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Broadcasting from the Mountain Home Services Studio, this is 97.5 KZNS FM Colville, 1280 KZNS AM Salt Lake City, and 102.7 KSL FM HD2 Salt Lake City Midvale. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh, yeah, man, how you doing? You good? I know you like that. I know you like that. How long you been back, man? I see the girls in the club, they getting wild for me. And all the pretty chicks all wanna smile at me. These rap cats, man, they all...
Hey, happy Saturday. Welcome in. It's the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. I'm Christian Esparza. Alex Napolis with me as well. It's a good Saturday, man.
Good Saturday. Good to be back. Plenty to talk about. Usually it feels like this time of year things slow down a little bit, right? You have both teams who play all 3 teams who play bowl games, and the season kind of winds down. But there's plenty to talk about and plenty happening in the world of college football, and it mostly has to do with with all the Michigan stuff happening.
What happened?
Oh, I don't know.
No, I'm kidding. I'd say I hope you all enjoy your holidays, and I genuinely do hope you all enjoyed your holidays, but I know that it's been a whirlwind, and I've seen, trust me, I've seen a lot of the reaction on social media from Utah fans, and I get it. It's hard. It's hard when you, and obviously we're going to start here, Kyle Whittingham going to Michigan. Not only that, but now he's taking a bunch of assistance from both BYU and Utah. Of course, all the ties, keeping these two programs close-knit, and it's going to stay that way. It's hard, man. I'm seeing all these Utah fans talking about Kyle Whittingham destroying his legacy on the way out, and I wouldn't quite go that far, but I understand why you would be that upset.
Yeah.
I do think in a few years, once the storm calms down a little bit, I think people will get back to kind of appreciating what Kyle Whittingham did for the Utah program. But as of right now, as of, today, in the immediate aftermath of all of this happening, I totally understand being upset because Kyle Whittingham goes to Michigan. He takes Jason Beck as his offensive coordinator. He takes the wide receivers coach, Micah Simon. He takes his brother, Fred Whittingham, as the tight ends coach. Takes the offensive line coach, Jim Harding. And then he goes and gets, he took Lewis Powell as well, the defensive line coach, and then he goes and gets Jay Hill from BYU. So all of those guys, like, you think of where Utah football has excelled over the last, 10-ish years. Excellent offensive line, excellent defensive line. Last year, Utah, or I guess this year, Utah finally put together not just a good offense, but an elite offense, dropping 40 every single game in conference play. And that just gets pulled out right from under you.
Right.
How long has it taken for Kyle Whittingham to find an offense that can perform at such a high level without really hurting the defense?
Yeah.
They finally did it, and now it's gone. It's tough. It's tough.
And I think that's the hard part, right? That I think that's where Utah fans are kind of upset and trying to come to terms with the fact that Jason Beck is now gone, because for as fun and as amazing as that 2021 and 2022 offense was, right, with Cam Rising, the offense we saw under Jason Beck, I think, was way better and more fun to watch. And it mostly had to do with how physical they were running that ball and the trench play. And then you go and you put up 40 plus a game. You have one of the best offenses in the entire country, and the architect of that, Jason Beck, after one season decides to head over to Michigan with Kyle Whittingham. And now it seems like you kind of have to start a little bit from scratch.
Yeah, and part of the hard thing about it is, Morgan Scally played a hand in finding Jason Beck. At least that's what the reports were, right?
That's what the understanding of it is.
Because Morgan Scally was the coach in waiting for so long, and they knew, or they presumed at some point, Morgan Scally would take over while this OC was here at Utah if they were successful, right? So the idea was to have Morgan Scally play a hand in finding the guy, presuming that he would be coaching with them as well. Turns out he was so good that Kyle Whittingham's going to take him to Michigan with him. So now, if you're Utah, if you're Morgan Scally, not only do you have to replace yourself at the defensive coordinator spot, which they have with Colton Swan, but now you got to find your offensive coordinator and basically replace that whole offensive staff. Mind you, the portal is now open, and now you're having to fight keeping players on your roster that you want to retain while simultaneously dipping into the portal and filling your other needs that you already had. And it's tough. I mean, a few Utah players have already entered the portal. John Henry Daly, Smith Snowden, Teo Johnson, some of the big names, right? Still uncertain on what's going to happen with Devin Dampier and Bird Ficklin. That is to be determined. I think obviously that all hinges on what they can do with the offensive coordinator. And we'll get into, some of the possibilities later on in the show. But man, I saw somebody tweet a GIF of Batman the Dark Knight when the Joker walks out of the hospital and he just blows up the hospital on his way out.
Yeah.
That is really what it feels like. And not to be dramatic, but it just feels like, and I know Kyle was not doing this on purpose, right? He's not doing it to sabotage the Utah football program. The reality is, these are successful coaches.
Absolutely.
And if they want to achieve their highest goals as coaches, what's going to look better on your resume? Offensive coordinator at Utah or offensive coordinator at Michigan? I'm sorry, but it's Michigan.
It's going to be Michigan every day of the week. And I know a lot of Utah fans are clinging on to the notion and clinging on to the words that Kyle Whittingham said on his way out, and it was basically, I want to leave the program in good hands and in a good position. But now it seems like those guys who put the program in a good position are out the door. And so to that sense, I understand the frustration of Utah fans and clinging on to those words, because it does seem like whatever good position that offense was left in on Kyle Whittingham's way out, he is now taking the architects of what made that offense so successful and is taking them over to Michigan. But at the same time, man, Kyle Whittingham, he just signed a 5-year deal with Michigan. He's going over to Michigan with the intent of winning a national championship.
Duh.
It's just part of the business, right? He's not going to completely leave Utah's staff unscathed because of the respect that he has for the school. He wants to go out there and he wants to take Michigan back to the playoff, and he wants to win a national championship to end his career. And what better way to position yourself in a spot where you can compete for a national championship than take the guy who had one of the best offenses in the entire country this past season?
Yep. That's what it's all about, right? Utah won double-digit games this season, and they couldn't even sniff the college football playoff.
Yeah.
And if Michigan wins double-digit games, they're in easily, right? So
if Michigan, if the roles were reversed this past year, and Michigan was in a spot where they're sitting at 10-2 to end the regular season, their 2 losses to Ohio State and Oregon or whatever.
Yeah.
They're probably in a better spot and better position to be in the college football playoff.
Right.
Sitting in probably that 9th or 10th spot because it's Michigan.
Maybe even higher. I don't know. So Indiana won the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Ohio State's the rival. So
Right.
let's say, they have a loss to the conference champion
to Indiana and
in
Ohio State.
Indiana.
Yeah, there you go.
And then a loss to their rival in Ohio State.
They'd be ranked higher than Utah.
They would be ranked, and I'm sure they would be easily in the playoff. So that's just, it's the nature of what the playoff is, and it's the nature of what college football is right now. And Michigan is just one of those jobs. So that's done. Kyle Whittingham moves on. He's taking coaches with him. And for all the reasons why we don't blame Kyle Whittingham for going, we also don't blame these assistants for joining him there. And I get he wants to leave them in a good place. Again, he's not doing this on purpose. He's not sabotaging the program.
Right. And I think Utah is in a good place for one reason, and that's Morgan Scalley.
You think?
I think so. I think now Morgan Scalley has a great opportunity. I think in a perfect world, I think it would have been nice to have Jason Beck and to have Micah Simon and to have Whittingham Jr. and to have Jim Harding and to have Lewis Powell, who have been phenomenal coaches for Utah over the course of the last couple of years. But I think now Morgan Scalley is in a position too where he can bring in guys that he wants, makes the staff how he wants it, bring in a coordinator that aligns with his vision, and kind of make the program his. We talked about in the postgame show about how the foundation is already laid down for Morgan Scalley, but now it's even more of just building off of the foundation that Kyle Whittingham leaves. It's actually now kind of coming in and renovating this program to make it what you want to make it. And you can do that by bringing in that coordinator. You can do that by bringing in coaches who fit the scheme and the vision of what you want this offense to look like heading into next season.
Yeah.
Morgan Scalley has a great opportunity now to make the team his. And I think I think that'll be fun to watch and to see how he's able to put that staff together.
It's a fine line, man, because
obviously we don't know how great it's going to be or how good it's going to be. It's going to take a while, right? We have to wait till the first game next season to find out how it's going to look. I think, like I said, I think in a perfect world, it would have been nice to have Jason Beck come back and have that same offense come back and build off of what you did this past season. But again, now Morgan Scalley has a great opportunity to imprint his vision onto this team.
It's hard because on one hand, you are replacing a guy that you played for and coached under for so many years, right?
Yeah.
So you've seen how the bread is made in the back. You know the secret recipe. You know what makes it work. But on the other hand, everybody has that in the back of their mind, like, okay, but maybe I would tweak this just a little bit. Maybe I would do this.
Exactly. To counter that, you also see what hasn't worked.
Yeah. So how much Ben Anderson, my guy, uses this reference a lot. There's basically like, did Kyle Whittingham do everything that way because that's how he wanted to do it and he didn't want to change? Or did he do everything that way because that's what worked? And is Morgan Scalley going to come in and try and do things his own way only to find out that there's a reason Kyle Whittingham was doing everything that way?
Yeah.
Or is he going to be able to kind of do things a little bit like Kyle, but also with his own spin? And that's the $1 million question, right? That's what is going to make or break Morgan Scalley as a head coach. Because if he comes in and completely tries to deviate Kyle Whittingham, that's not going to work. If he comes in and he completely tries to replicate Kyle Whittingham, that's not going to work either because nobody can be Kyle Whittingham. So Morgan Scalley has to find out how to be the best version of the successor to Kyle Whittingham, but also kind of the next generation head coach.
Yeah. And it starts with this offensive coordinator hire.
That's crazy.
It's going to start with this offensive coordinator hire, who he brings in and how that offense looks next season. I think it's going to dictate, obviously, a lot on the success of Morgan Scalley heading into that first season. And I think ultimately that's where the unrest from Utah fans comes from. Everything that I'm seeing online with people going after Kyle Whittingham, with people going after how this is all playing out, I think it ultimately comes from the scariness of the unknown. Because all Utah fans have known for the last couple of years is Kyle Whittingham, and you know exactly what you're going to get with Kyle Whittingham. And you see what Kyle Whittingham teams do. Now you deviate away from that. It's Morgan Scalley's show. He's going to run it. Like I said, he has a great opportunity to come in and renovate things the way he wants it and to shape this offense the way that he wants to. And that's scary. And I think that's where a lot of the upset from Utah fans is coming from, is the fact that they're in uncharted territory. This is uncharted waters for Utah fans. Everybody's so accustomed to seeing Kyle Whittingham on that sideline, and now it's not going to be that way.
No, that's a great point. I mean, it's not like they were looking for offensive coordinators every year.
Right.
Under Kyle Whittingham, but they went through a few, especially within the last 10 years, right?
And I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people had a lot of frustrations with some of the offensive coordinators that have come through Utah the last couple of years.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Which, there's a reason they moved on. And so it is like, this is not just an offensive coordinator search. This is the first time in 21 years, like you're saying, uncharted territory. Like, you're not quite sure how steady the boat is right now. But, I mean, Morgan Scalley is a Utah man, and he has certainly, I think, started the job off the right way. I love their performance in the Las Vegas Bowl.
Absolutely.
We recapped that the other day on New Year's Eve, did the post-game show there. I think he had a few interesting quotes. One thing that he said, and I'm paraphrasing here, not word for word, but he basically said this program is bigger than any one person or player, right? It is about the U. It's about the logo.
Yeah.
And that's how he wants to keep it. And he also said that...
I wonder if that was a slight dig at anybody.
I don't think so. You think? You think he's digging at Kyle?
I don't think so. No. Not at Kyle.
Oh, you mean at players?
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be. I don't know.
People are already thinking about heading to Michigan, man.
I get that.
Yeah.
He also said, speaking of that logo, that the U is the only thing he's ever wore, and that's the only thing he ever wants to wear.
Yeah.
Now, opinions do change, and, if Michigan opens up and they call you, you got to listen. But at the same time, I mean, that's what Utah fans want to hear right now, is that Morgan Scalley wants to do the best he can here because this is his dream job. So let's get into some of these offensive coordinator candidates because there's a lot of rumors floating around, right? I think one name that came up yesterday that was really intriguing to me was Marcus Arroyo from Arizona State.
Yeah.
He also spent some time at Oregon. He helped Justin Herbert kind of become what he was there. Obviously dumped on Utah in the, the Pac-12 championship, right?
Yes.
That would have been 22, I think. So, I mean, Utah has seen firsthand how good Arroyo can be as an offensive coordinator. And then he also led Arizona State to the Big 12 championship in 2024. Proven offenses, proven development with quarterbacks. And that's I want to point to that last point because that's something that, speaking to our Utah insider, Steve Bartle for KSLSports.com, that's kind of what he brought up. They want an offensive coordinator that can develop an NFL-style quarterback.
Yeah, which... It's been a while since I think Utah's had a successful...
We can get into that later.
Okay, all right.
Another name, let's go with this one. Jonathan Smith, well-known name, former Michigan State head coach. He had a lot of success with Chad Ochocinco. He coached him in college. That was a long time ago now, but
yeah,
a guy who's been around, done some things. But I think the big thing with Jonathan Smith is experience.
Jonathan Smith, if I remember right, 2017, Jake Browning in Washington. That was a fun offense to watch.
Yeah.
That was a fun offense to watch. And he was the offensive coordinator for that Washington team who made it to the college football playoff with Jake Browning at quarterback. I think it was Jake Browning's sophomore year. And that was a fun offense to watch. And so that's why that name is intriguing to me.
And former head coach there, again, want to hammer that. Like, that's when you talk about Morgan Scalley taking over his first head coaching job. Of course, no experience on the staff because you're replacing almost everybody on the offensive staff and a few other guys on the defensive staff. That's one thing that I would kind of look for is head coaching experience that can come in and help Scalley do this because he's never done this before.
Right.
One name, let's go with Aaron Roderick.
Okay.
Former Utah offensive coordinator, obviously now at BYU. I think this one is a little less likely than the other two. just because looking at what he's done at BYU, I'd be shocked if they let him go, especially after losing Jay Hill. I would be surprised if BYU
is willing to lose Aaron
Roderick. They don't want to have to replace two coordinators in
Right.
one offseason, right?
Right.
So,
but Aaron Roderick would be, I think a lot of Utah fans to the idea of Aaron Roderick returning to Utah. I've seen a lot of discourse online of people not wanting or not,
there's a reason he's not at Utah still.
Yeah. That there are people saying that hire wouldn't inspire them, right? But I think it absolutely should, because I think he's come a long way since his time at Utah. And I think he's has a little bit of a better track record now of developing quarterback talent. You look at Zach Wilson, you look at Jaron Hall, you look at Jake Retzlaff, and then of course last season Bear Blockmeyer. Quarterback development under Aaron Roderick has been fun to watch, quite frankly.
Yeah, and he's done great things at BYU, and even a lot of BYU fans don't like him. I will say that he would be the least sexy hire out of these names that we're going over. Not on looks. Come on. I mean,
I get you. No, I get
because I want to see Morgan Scalley develop his own web. His own connections. If Morgan Scalley has big roles to fill, and he immediately dips into the familiarity of, I'm going to go get my guy that's interconnected, rival school, we're all buddies, we all know each other. That's what I don't want to see right off the bat.
Yeah.
I want to see, because I'm hearing that Morgan Scalley is better at making relationships and connections than Kyle Whittingham was. Kyle Whittingham kind of stuck to his own guys that he knew. I want to see Morgan Scalley branch out a little bit. So that's why, A-Rod wouldn't be a bad hire, but I want to see that network expand, because there's more coaches out there than just who's at Utah and who's at BYU.
Right.
Last name, though, and I think this one's a bit of a pipe dream, would be Brian Johnson. He's current assistant head coach and offensive pass game coordinator for the Washington Commanders. They haven't been that great this year, but of course last year made it all the way to the NFC Championship with a rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels. He was also offensive coordinator at one point for the Philadelphia Eagles. Recently. So he's done some really good things at the NFL level. Not quite sure how that would translate to the collegiate level, but every time there's an offensive coordinator opening at Utah, Brian Johnson's name, obviously former quarterback, right, gets connected to that just because. So I don't know how realistic that is. I think he could get NFL head coaching buzz, so I don't know why he would come to Utah to be the offensive coordinator. But that is a name that's always thrown around.
It seems like it is, and that's it. It seems like it's mostly because it is a former Utah quarterback, and a lot of people still hold on to that 2008 Sugar Bowl season. I'd be curious to see if there is interest there to jump down to the collegiate level and be an offensive coordinator. I think he's done phenomenal things at the NFL level, and would like to continue to see him do great things at the NFL level, but I don't think it would hurt for Utah to try to make an investment in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So out of those names, do you have any that you in particular think would be a good fit here?
Oh, you know what? I think right now, for me and the way I see it, I think Jonathan Smith wouldn't be that bad. I think he's put out some fun offenses, and he's been great at developing. He's been good at developing quarterbacks, and as you mentioned earlier, he has had coaching experience, and that probably could help Morgan out navigate the waters through the course of the first year.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's tough because there's a reason why he's no longer the head coach at Michigan State, right?
Yeah, it didn't really work out at Michigan State.
But nevertheless,
but I don't know if Jonathan Smith not working out at Michigan State. I don't know if that's a Jonathan Smith thing or if that's just a
Michigan State
thing.
Right. That's where I was going.
Because I think a lot of people, or just from what I've seen online, right, a lot of people at Michigan State aren't happy with other things that are happening at Michigan State.
I mean, again, just bringing somebody in who has experience, I wouldn't, I really wouldn't mind Marcus Arroyo either. I think that could be a really fun pick. Just looking at what he was able to do with Justin Herbert and then Leavitt with Arizona State.
Yeah.
That leads me to where I kind of teased earlier, the quarterback thing. is what Steve Bartle was on with Jake and Ben yesterday, and Ben asked him, about the quarterback position because they have Devin Dampier and Bird Ficklin, but they're making a new offensive coordinator hire. So what type of offense could Morgan Scalley want, and what type of quarterback could he want to fit that offense? Do Devin Dampier and Bird Ficklin currently fit where Morgan Scalley wants to go? And basically Bartle said they could. They could, because we've seen potential with the arm, but the main thing is Scalley wants to kind of get that pro-style quarterback that can make any throw and really hurt defenses. And I do think that's an interesting point because, like you said earlier, when's the last time Utah had a pro-style quarterback, right?
Alex Smith.
Essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going on nearly 20 years. And kind of going back to where we started this conversation, what works at Utah and what doesn't work at Utah? I don't know if they need that to win. I don't know if they need that pro-style quarterback to win. And I think that is kind of a buzzword, It's like in marketing, people will throw buzzwords out there to catch your eye and make their product sound really good and make it sound like you really need it. Pro style, what does that mean at the University of Utah? You're not playing pro football, you're playing college football in the Big 12.
Yeah.
What did Cincinnati do last year with Brendan Sorsby? What did Baylor do with Sawyer Robertson?
Right.
Some of these quote-unquote pro-style quarterbacks, sure, they can throw it all over the yard, but are those teams winning games? And I don't know, because now Sorsby's in the portal, and he's reportedly going to fetch $5 million, maybe from Texas Tech. And maybe he goes to Tech and absolutely shreds it next year because he's got a good defense. I don't know. But what I do know is that Utah has traditionally won with their ground game and their defense.
Yep.
And last year they had their most prolific offense probably ever. And Devin Dampier couldn't throw the ball. And that's no slight to Devin Dampier because and again, he was banged up. He was hurt. And I do want to preface it with that. We saw in the Las Vegas Bowl how good of a player he could be when he's healthy. And he was making those throws. But what I'm saying is, when he was hurt in the regular season and he couldn't make those throws, they were still winning football games.
Right.
They didn't need Devin Dampier to go out and be a pro-style quarterback to win football games.
Yeah, because you were putting up 300+ on the ground.
Right.
And I think that obviously the run game was phenomenal for Utah this past season, and one of the best in the country. And you go back to games like BYU and Texas Tech, which were Utah's 2 losses on the season, and when they did struggle to pass the ball and they did struggle to get things going in the rushing game, obviously those ended up in losses. And so the only thing I will say about the pro style quarterback is I think it would be nice if Utah's able to add some type of semblance of a good passing game.
Yeah.
And I think we saw a little bit of it against Nebraska. Devin Dampier ends off the night with 310 yards.
Yeah, and there's a lot more that goes into it, too, because you look at Utah's wide receiver room this past year.
Yeah.
And they didn't have anybody.
Yeah, that's a position group that probably could use an upgrade.
So, right. So how much of their lack of production in the offensive, the wide receiver room outside of Ryan Davis, right?
Yeah.
He was literally their only receiver that had any sort of impact. I know Simmons kind of made some plays down the stretch, but even he was inconsistent, right? So
yeah.
How much did that play a factor into the passing game not being consistent? And then you look at maybe they could have beat Tech or they could have beat BYU with a passing attack. They beat Kansas State because Devin Dampier popped off a long run at the end of the game that set up the go-ahead touchdown, right? So for every, maybe they could have beat BYU or Tech, there's also, they won this game because Devin Dampier used his legs.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. And that's the nature of what college football is. You're not going to get a perfect quarterback.
Right. To that point, though, what you're saying about the wide receivers, while I think ultimately losing Jason Beck and losing all these coaches could be a good thing because, again, Morgan Scalley can now bring in guys and start imprinting his vision and what he wants his program to be. I do think the timing of it is absolutely terrible because what opened yesterday?
The transfer portal.
And it doesn't seem like it's a great time to not have an offensive coordinator when the transfer portal is open. Because guys, whatever conversations you're having with players, they're going to want to know, especially offensive players, especially wide receivers, they're going to want to know who that offensive coordinator is. And so I think Utah's on a clock right now. Whatever decision they decide to make at offensive coordinator, it's got to come quick. Just because I think the timing of this is absolutely terrible for Utah.
To that point, our guy Steve Bartle always doing so much work. We really appreciate everything he does covering the Utah program. He's tweeting about, prospects, players in the transfer portal that are taking visits with Utah. We've got 2 big ones so far. Oklahoma true freshman safety Marcus Wimberly is expected to take a visit with Utah later today here in Salt Lake. And then North Texas edge rusher Ethan Day, again, will be in Salt Lake tomorrow for a visit. Those are 2 defensive players.
Not only are they 2 defensive players, Christian, but those are 2 positions that you already have guys jumping into the portal
right.
For.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's good to fill those, but they're defensive players.
Right.
It's going to be hard to get offensive players over here taking visits when they have no idea what kind of scheme Utah is going to be running. So
exactly,
whoever Utah hires as the next offensive coordinator, that's got to be announced soon because the dominoes are not going to fall until you get that.
Absolutely. And, of course, player retention.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with Devin Dampier? What's going to happen with Wayshawn Parker? What's going to happen with all these guys on offense, right? Player retention is huge, and having an offensive coordinator and having an idea of what your scheme is going to be heading next season could probably help you a lot with player retention.
Totally.
So, Morgan Scally, man, you're on a clock.
You are on a clock.
You got to get that offensive coordinator position filled ASAP because this is a super important 2 weeks for whatever the future of your program or for whatever the next season of your program is going to look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll stick with this. Next up, we'll talk about BYU losing Jay Hill. Gary Anderson was on with Hans and Scotty yesterday. He said some interesting things. I want to get to some of those comments. So we'll talk about the BYU side of things and how they're affected by all this next. Stick with us. It's the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, bro. You hear us every day with our crazy opinions.
Hey, what you doing?
Well, now, it's time to hear from you.
Hey, great show.
Download the KSL Sports app and fire off your thoughts with the call-in tab on the bottom of your screen.
Your show is fantastic. It's the one that captivates me the most.
You can tell PK to stop singing.
G-Bang!
Let Jake and Ben know what you really think of the Jazz. Woo! Tell Hans and Scotty about your favorite barbecue spot or what color of tie JJ should be wearing on TV. The best entries will be played on the air. Download the KSL Sports app now and hit the call-in button to let your voice be heard.
I think you guys do an incredible job.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Everybody loves the season of giving, but now the season of paying for it is upon us. That not-so-wonderful time of the year when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, stare in horror at the balance, and resolve then and there to find new ways to save money. If you're among those Americans, why not start by cutting your wireless bill in half right now with Pure Talk's Saver Plan? It's easy. You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast, nationwide 5G network for just $20 a month. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Ho, ho, ho! And if you're active or former military or a first responder, you'll save an additional 20% every single month. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe for the gift that keeps on saving from America's wireless company. Pure Talk.
Held over due to popular demand. This is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only. Today through Sunday. Mountain America Expo Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only. Today through Sunday. Mountain America Expo Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Mountain America Expo Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Mountain America Expo Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Mountain America Expo Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Today through Sunday. Mountain America Expo Center. Today, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Mountain America Expo Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Are you ready for a new you in the new year? The Salt Lake City Fat Loss Program has helped thousands of frustrated men and women feel confident in their clothes, boost their energy, and finally feel like themselves again. So, what's the secret? Salt Lake City Fat Loss uses a science-proven plan to help reset your metabolism and lose up to 1 pound of fat per day without dangerous drugs or exercise. And right now is the perfect time to start. Due to overwhelming demand, Salt Lake City Fat Loss has extended their huge New Year's sale, over 20% off for a limited time only.
JJ here. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. Alex Curie here. I dropped 50 pounds in 60 days on the SLC Fat Loss Program. Get their New Year's special at slcfatloss.com.
Whether you want to love what you see in the mirror again, boost your energy, fit better in your clothes, or feel more confident and healthier as you age, Salt Lake City Fat Loss works. Huge New Year's sale is ending soon. Schedule your free consultation today at slcfatloss.com and lock in your savings. That's slcfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, Doug, I hear you're giving out free test drives.
Yeah?
How about bringing around that sweet black 1500 and we go for a little spin?
Seth, you're 16 and don't have a dime to your name.
Yeah, but my daddy does. When I pass the test on Thursday, I'm going right back here to Doug Smith.
You don't even have a license?
Join us at the Start Something New sales event at Doug Smith Ram, now through January 31st. Get a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty on all new Ram models. No one knows Ram like Doug.
At University of Utah Health, we're mapping DNA to find the cause and the cure. Because 1 in a million is really just one. One person facing one incredibly difficult diagnosis. Looking for one thing: hope. Learn more at uofuhealth.org.
When life brings trouble, you can fight or run away. I have no struggle.
Welcome back to the Saturday Show 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. I'm Christian Esparza. Alex Napolis here with me. Before we get into breaking news that Alex has, I got a question for Sean. Is this a FIFA song?
A FIFA song?
Not that I know of.
I don't think it is.
Oh, I thought it was.
I have played every FIFA since 2008. Since FIFA 08.
And this isn't on the game?
And I can't remember. Usually, like, I got a pretty good memory of like what music and whatnot is on there, and I couldn't. It wasn't familiar to me.
I like it. I just thought it was a song. I thought it was a song from FIFA.
It does have some FIFA vibes to it. I will give you that. It does have some FIFA vibes.
Alex, you said you have some breaking news in the break. I wouldn't even let you tell me because I don't like spoilers. So go ahead and break some news for us.
So this is just something that came across my timeline right now. Matt Zenit of CBS Sports, he's been on top of it, man. He's been on top of the whole Michigan situation and has done a phenomenal job of reporting everything that's happening as far as the coaching hires goes. And Matt Zenit of CBS Sports just tweeted, Michigan is expected to hire BYU quarterback coach and defensive pass game coordinator Gennaro Guilford.
Wow.
And that's a loss that I think stings for BYU.
All right. So this is great timing for this announcement to come down because I wanted to get into the BYU side of things and how they're affected by all this Kyle Whittingham stuff. Obviously, Jay Hill going to Michigan. Gennaro Guilford wasn't the name that I had seen the most people bring up as the replacement at defensive coordinator.
Absolutely.
So that's a huge loss, especially cornerbacks coach, right? We've seen the level of play at in BYU's DB room rise the last few seasons.
Absolutely.
Obviously, he's been doing a great job because you've got guys like Evan Johnson last year, Jacob Robinson in years past, like really playing at a high level at a position that BYU is not known for having good players at.
Yeah.
So credit to him. I mean, that's a big get for Michigan. That's a huge loss for BYU. And now we will see how they end up replacing that.
It's funny because we were just about to talk about Gary Anderson, right?
Yeah.
And the comments that he made yesterday on the radio. And I was going to say, I think it's great for BYU to be able to hold on to both Anderson and Guilford.
Yeah.
But now here we are. heading into this segment, seeing this come across, and Jannaro Guilford on his way to Michigan.
Well, at least
is expected to be on his way.
Expected
to be on his way to Michigan.
Michigan was expected to hire Kyle Whittingham as head coach, and they did. Yeah, at least you still have Gary. And he came on the station yesterday, and it was a great interview, great insight. Go and listen to it right now on the Hance and Scotty G page, wherever you get your podcast. Gary Anderson, senior defensive analyst at BYU. He came on. First off, he broke the news on the show that he was staying.
Yeah.
And in my own words, I'll just say what he said in a shorter version. Kind of what we thought with Kyle Whittingham for a second, right? Like it just doesn't make sense for him to go to Michigan at this point in his life. He's really, really happy with what he's doing at BYU. He's very content with doing that and just doing that. He doesn't want to be, a coach. He doesn't want to move across the country. He likes being at BYU right now, and he really enjoys that. And frankly, he's done a great job. So that's a big, big get for the Cougars as far as keeping Gary Anderson around. Now, some of you may be wondering, senior defensive analyst, what does that mean? And we'll get to that in a second. But I was thinking on my drive here, and yes, it hurts losing Jay Hill and now Guilford, right? But it's not an absolute disaster because as good of a coach Jay Hill is, he is not the sole reason that BYU's defense was, third in the Big 12 last year or this year, and then they finished first or second the year before, right?
Yeah.
Jay Hill's a great defensive coordinator, but he's not the only reason why. I think Gary Anderson has a lot to do with that.
Yes.
And we'll get to this is what Gary Anderson had to say about what his role is as a senior defensive analyst.
As far as, the game planning, obviously I was right there with Jay, and I were on the same page. And it was it started 3 or 4 years ago at Weber when I helped him 1 year down there. We just continued to grow and develop it. And I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss Jay and I. We're very, very close and very, very tight. And, you look at going to another place, and Jay and I look and we talk about things, and, could it be here? Could it be at Michigan? That's just not feasible for myself right now. And where I am in life, but he'll do great things. But we had a great game plan together, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with the rest of the staff, and then getting into the game. And that will change a little bit now, but now it's going to be the next D coordinator up or the next D coordinators up, however that wants to work with through Kalani, what he wants to be able to get done. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get him ready to walk into games and be prepared to call a great game. I'm looking forward to coaching the kids on the defense again. I think this year I'll be a little bit more around the defense as a whole, as we've talked with Kalani, and I've talked some things out and where we can be, and then whatever Kalani needs me to do, I can do some more stuff with Kalani this year as we move through time. But those things will all come out in the mix. But I get to be a football coach, and that's a great point in my life right now. I don't, like I told you, I want to help kids and I want to help coaches grow, and that's exactly what the analyst tag is gives me the ability to do every single day, and help BYU football grow.
So essentially his role it sounds like, it's probably a lot more than this. He's just giving us the very simplified version of it.
The tip of the iceberg.
But he would break down film, probably both BYU's film and the other team's offense, right? And what can BYU do better on their defensive side? What can BYU's defense do to stop the other team's offense? He would work with the other defensive coaches. He would work with Jay Hill as the defensive coordinator to come up with a game plan together. So that's why I say that Jay Hill wasn't the sole reason that BYU's defense was so good. He definitely played a big part of it.
Yeah.
Because he's still calling plays. He's still making decisions in the key moments. And not everybody has the ability to do that and make those decisions. But as far as scheming and game planning, I think Gary Anderson had a lot to do with that. And you look at some of BYU's great defensive performances over the last couple of years, they go in with a dominant game plan right from the start.
Yeah.
And I think Gary Anderson has a lot to do with that.
Absolutely. And when I think of the BYU defense, obviously a lot of credit has to go to Jay Hill and his scheme and his vision as the defensive coordinator. And I don't say this to put Kelly Papinga, Justin Enna, or Sione Puhan in a different light, but I think it was truly a three-headed monster in Jay Hill, in Jannaro Guilford, in Gary Anderson. Those three minds put together is what created this BYU defense.
Yeah.
And I mean, you just look at the numbers that BYU has been able to put up defensively over the course of the last couple. I mean, just this season alone, one of the best rush defenses in the conference, one of the best pass defenses in the conference, and a lot of credit has to go to the vision of those three guys, right? The defensive pass game coordinator in Gennaro Guilford, the analyst in Gary Anderson, and of course the coordinator in Jay Hill. Those three guys, I think, have been phenomenal for BYU's defense. To have been phenomenal to see the evolution of what we've seen this BYU defense become over the course of the last couple of years. And I think even just losing two of those guys is going to sting a lot heading into next season.
Yeah.
But whoever they decide to hire and bring in as the defensive coordinator, whoever the next guy is, right, to replace Jay Hill, I think he's already in a good position to succeed because they were able to rely on Gary Anderson, and the work that Gary Anderson has been able to do as the defensive analyst has been phenomenal.
I'm glad you mentioned next guy, because that was another thing that I found interesting in that little 90-second clip we played. Gary Anderson said, whoever the next defensive coordinator is, or defensive coordinators are. Ooh. So he almost made it sound like BYU could go with multiple people taking over the defensive coordinator role.
Have some co-defensive coordinators.
And again, that's not official. That's, I'm not here to report anything, but that could be an option, especially when you don't have a lot of defensive coordinating experience in this current room.
Yeah.
And I don't know if BYU wants to go external for the defensive coordinator hire. I know there are some names that have been brought up, the guy at USC, right? But when you look at this scheme that BYU has been running, and I know it's predominantly Jay Hill's scheme, it's so complicated to learn. But once you learn it, it excels.
Absolutely.
And that's why you saw the defense struggle in that first year. And then the last 2 years, it's really taken off. So if you have something that's proven, even if you lose the guy who was calling shots, you retain somebody who knows the structure of it. Why would you go away from that?
Right.
And maybe it doesn't work, and maybe they do need to go external. But in my mind, it makes more sense to kind of go internal, stay with the coaches who know this system, who've been running it already. So we'll see there, but I don't know. Kalani Sitake could also be the play caller during games. If you look at, maybe they do promote multiple people to be defensive coordinators, and then they let Kalani call the plays on the defensive side. I think there are a ton of options for BYU. So
there is, and I do think no matter what direction BYU goes in with the defensive coordinator things, I do think that they're in a good spot, regardless, right? I think obviously losing Jay Hill and Gennaro Guilford are going to be massive, massive hits. Gennaro, too, from a recruiting standpoint, from what I've heard, he's been a phenomenal recruiter for that BYU team. And, those are big shoes to fill for anybody to fill, for Jay Hill and Gennaro Guilford. But I think no matter what BYU decides to do, I think they'll be set up in a good spot because, again, Gary Anderson and Kalani Sitake, quite frankly. Kalani's been, the last couple hires that Kalani's made, I think, have been home runs, right? You look at you look at Grimes, you look at Roderick, you look at Jay Hill. I think all three of those have been home runs. And now you have, obviously, you have to fill in that defensive coordinator spot. And so I think no matter what, Kalani's been great at scouting coordinator talent, and I think that there isn't a doubt in my mind that Kalani will again do the same thing, and continue to position BYU in a position to be successful.
So it is interesting, man. Utah has lost a coordinator and several assistants to Michigan, and now BYU has lost a coordinator and is expected to lose a very key assistant to Michigan. So it's just Kyle Whittingham, man, building his staff from, I guess, the best of both worlds.
Assembling the Avengers, man.
Yeah, and it's funny. I mean, it shows the talent that Utah and BYU have, not just on the field, but on the sidelines, right? These coaches, these staffs are so well respected. They're all buddies. We know that. But now you're seeing that come to fruition when you've got somebody taking, again, one of the top 5, top 10 jobs in the entire country, and they're building out their entire staff with local guys, with, taking BYU and Utah guys. And there are a few staying at Michigan, right? Alford, the running backs coach. But for the most part, Whittingham is bringing his guys in because he knows how good of coaches these guys are.
Absolutely. And he knows them. And I think under Kyle Whittingham and whatever the plan is now at Michigan, I think truly they're in a position, a good position to succeed. I think, they have a good roster, and if they're able to retain a lot of it, I think Michigan is in a good spot to position themselves to be competing for not only a Big Ten position, or a Big Ten championship spot, but of course a spot in the college football playoff. And I think under Kyle Whittingham and with him at the helm, and with him bringing in phenomenal coaches like Jay Hill, like Guilford, like Jason Beck, and everybody who's gone along on the offensive side of the ball from Utah, they're in a good spot on paper. They're in a good spot. We'll see how it plays out with Michigan next season. I think everybody here will be watching just because of how many local ties now that are on that staff, and I think a lot of people will be watching, and we'll see how it goes, man.
At Osteomath on Twitter chiming in, on X. Hire Marcus Arroyo from Arizona State. Easy transition, QB development experience, West Coast connections, and Salt Lake's winter is about the same as Tempe these days. I love it.
Yeah, you know what? Where's the snow, man?
Several great points there. Thanks for chiming in.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got to look more into Marcus Arroyo and see kind of what his offense looks like, and before I can make a decision on him. But I'll be looking into Marcus Arroyo to see what he brings.
I would like that.
Absolutely.
And again, anybody, if you ever have any thoughts on the Saturday show, you want to join in on the conversation, feel free to join in. We're live on YouTube. You can go to the comment section there and drop a comment. We'll get to some of those next. Or you can tweet at us, shoot an X post at us, at CS Barza Sports, at Annapolis Alex. Let us know your thoughts on, this coaching situation, or
let us know your thoughts on Gennaro Guilford, possibly.
Yeah, that's big. That's big time. We've got some YouTube comments. Key for 3 at PG. Gennaro, no.
I love it.
Yeah. We got to take a break. Coming up next, we'll get to technical fouls. We've got a couple of funny things to get to in the world of sports. We'll hit that next. Stick with us. It's the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is JJ and Alex.
I got this. Joining us on the program right now, Andy Phillips, former kicker for the University of Utah.
Coach Scally wears a little bit more emotion on his sleeve and is not afraid to joke around with you. And I go to our blackout game, and there he is in a white shirt, and I can give him a bunch of crap for being in a white shirt at a blackout game, and he can turn around and give me all kinds of crap as well. And he brings totally a different perspective than Coach Witt, and so a lot of people are like, yeah, you're going to get a lot of the same with Scally, and I don't necessarily think that's true. And I think it's going to be just a great change at Utah in leadership, in the sense that there's new blood and new energy. And I know that Coach Scally's been preparing for this for decades, and we'll take all of the good that he's learned from Coach Witt and the coaches that he's worked with, and then we'll put his own flavor on the program. And so I'm really excited to see what that's going to turn into.
Catch JJ and Alex afternoons from 3 to 7 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The KSL Sports Zone is your home for live local sports. Listen tonight as the Utah Jazz play the Golden State Warriors in California. The game tips off at 8 o'clock on 97.5 The Zone. Tomorrow, the Utah Mammoth play the Rangers in Madison Square Garden in New York, 5 o'clock. Listen on 1280 The Zone. The Utah Jazz play the Portland Trailblazers at 8 o'clock on 97.5 The Zone. And if you want to hear your company's name here, email Stephanie Palmer at spalmer@ksl.com and join the winning team at the KSL Sports Zone.
Did you know bad bacteria causes cavities and tooth decay? Did you know bad bacteria feed off residue left by sugary foods and drinks? Keep your family healthy. Your smile matters.
Be sure to brush 2 times daily for at least 2 minutes with fluoride toothpaste.
Floss once a day and limit sugary foods and drinks like sweetened juices, candies, and sodas.
Even sugar-free carbonated drinks can be harmful to teeth. Be sure to visit your dentist for regular checkups and cleanings. If you don't have a dentist, visit yoursmileutah.org for more information on community dental services. This message is brought to you by Utah Oral Health Coalition, Utah Dental Association, University of Utah School of Dentistry, the Utah Department of Health and Human Services, and other Utah health partners. Remember, a healthy smile means a healthier life. Learn more at yoursmileutah.org.
Because your smile matters.
All right, Utah, this is your shot. KSL and Ivory Homes are teaming up to send you to the big game in Santa Clara on February 8th. If you've ever dreamed of stepping onto football's biggest stage, the time to play is now. To qualify, just stop by any Ivory model home between now and January 31st. Walk through and ask about Ivory's super low rates, as low as 4.99% for a 30-year fixed. So get off the sidelines, visit an Ivory model home today, and enter for your chance to see the most incredible halftime show and the ultimate football experience. Start now at ivoryhomes.com/super. That's ivoryhomes.com/super.
This sweepstakes is open until January 31st, 2025 for residents of Utah who are at least 18. No purchase necessary. See the official rules at ivoryhomes.com/super.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with AutoPay, plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Get the latest Utah sports headlines delivered to your inbox with the KSL Sports Newsletter. From the Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, BYU, Utah, Real Salt Lake, and more. Be in the know of all things sports in the state of Utah. Visit KSLSports.com to sign up for the KSL Sports Newsletter.
Hey, this is Chris with JCW's. Not feeling a burger? We've got you covered. Try one of our hot ribeye, turkey, or BLT sandwiches, and you'll understand why we say JCW's, quality and a lot of it.
If you're coming from the street with dirty shoes on your feet, that's a technical foul. If you switch the radio to some modern music show, that's a technical foul. If you touch the thermostat,
You'll get hit with a bat.
'cause that's a technical foul.
You will feel my wrath.
That's a technical foul.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
A technical foul.
Welcome back to the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. I'm Christian Esparza, Alex Annapolis. You heard it right there. It's time for Technical Fouls, where we talk about some of the funnier things that happen in the world of sports, some of the more gossipy news, maybe. I don't know. I'll start things off because I've got some hot gossip. Fresh from New Year's Eve, Tom Brady spotted with influencer Alex Earl on New Year's Eve. Now, Alex Annapolis, you didn't know who Alex Earl was. I'm sure a lot of our listeners probably don't.
This is my first time hearing it.
Your wives might. She was just on Dancing with the Stars. Your daughters or children might. She is a social media influencer. She's huge on TikTok. She's actually our age. She just turned 25 at the beginning of December. And that's why I bring this up. She just turned 25. She was spotted with Tom Brady on New Year's Eve. Tom Brady, remember, 48 years old.
Yeah.
Taking a page out of old Billy.
I was about to say.
Out of old Billy Belichick's book.
I was about to say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree in this case.
Speaking of apple falling far from the tree, Alex Earl's dad is 50.
Oh, see, there you go.
Tom Brady's 48.
Old enough to be her dad.
That's crazy. I mean, there was a video going around. I don't know if they actually shared a kiss at the New Year, but they're like cuddly, getting close and comfortable at some event on New Year's Eve. Then the next day on his Instagram story, Tom Brady posted like a picture of a beautiful sunrise overlooking his Miami pool or wherever he's staying. So he was happy. We'll see where this goes.
Apparently, it's just the New England way, I guess. Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson have a 50-year age gap, and then now you have a 23-year age gap with Tom Brady and
It's
Alex Earl.
almost twice her age.
If that's if that's what's happening.
It could have just been a New Year's Eve stand.
Yeah,
we'll see.
He just wanted a midnight kiss, man.
One interesting wrinkle in this is so Alex Earl was dating Braxton Berrios for 2 years. He's an NFL receiver. He hasn't really done a lot in the league. He played at Miami. But the interesting thing is Berrios was actually teammates with Tom Brady at one point.
Ooh.
The Patriots drafted Berrios, or maybe he was undrafted, and that's where he went. No, he was a 6th-round pick to New England. Yeah, so he knows. Tom Brady knows her ex-boyfriend. Played football with her ex-boyfriend.
That's got to be awkward, right?
And they literally just broke up like less than a month ago.
Oh, okay. So it's like a
rebound.
Yeah. This Alex Earl.
Tom Brady.
Alex Earl.
Yeah, gonna go to my rebound. Tom Brady.
Using Tom Brady as a rebound.
Could be.
Let's go, man.
Yeah,
Why
no,
not?
this is a crazy situation, man.
Why not?
Who do you think could win in a fight, Alex Earl or Jordan Hudson?
Ooh, I'm gonna go Alex Earl.
You don't even know her.
I don't think Jordan Hudson's about that life, bro.
She's a cheerleader.
I don't think she's about that life.
We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't ever come to that. That's enough gossip. You've got some actual sports news. What's your technical foul, Alex?
I have. Okay, first of all, what a performance from Texas Tech, man. In the biggest stage of college football. The Texas Tech Red Raiders, who, everybody knows that they spent a bunch of money on their roster to come in with one objective and one objective only, and that was to win a national championship title. And while their defense is absolutely phenomenal, Jacob Rodriguez is probably the best linebacker in college football this season. David Bailey is no joke. That defensive line is no joke. They're literally an immovable brick wall. Utah has seen it. BYU has seen it. Very, very great defensive line. But they forgot to spend some money. Well, they probably should have spent some money on the most important position in football, and that is the quarterback position.
Yeah.
Baron Morton looked pedestrian against Oregon.
Worse than pedestrian.
Credit to Oregon's defense. But man, oh man. Not a great look for the Big 12. I think right now that this was a perfect opportunity for the Big 12 to kind of take away some of that stigma. You go in, you have not a perfect performance, but you have a good performance against Oregon and maybe a respectable loss against Oregon. I think the conversation changes, but now I think Texas Tech did some damage to the Big 12 image on New Year's Day.
Oh, it was literally worst case scenario. I mean, just get in there and score some points. Look competitive.
Yeah.
You want to prove that your league deserves to have multiple teams in the playoff. Well, you got to start proving it.
Yep.
Now the Big 12 is 0-2 in the college football playoff, right? Or did Arizona State? I don't think they won a game.
No, they did not.
They had a bye and then lost to Texas, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, okay, but let's compare those two. Arizona State looked competitive. They took Texas to overtime, and this was Texas last season, who was a lot better than they were this season.
Yes.
Right. This is a much better Texas defense, and Arizona State looked competitive. They took them to overtime. That was a super fun game. I expected the same thing, and maybe that's my fault, right? My expectation for a Texas Tech was probably a little bit higher than it should have been, but still, I had an expectation for Texas Tech to go in and perform similarly to what we saw Arizona State do last season, but instead they just go in there, they lay an egg, and make the conference look bad.
I think that was fair to ask. What were they, the 3 seed or
Yeah.
whatever? So. Yeah, not only did they lose, they got embarrassed, and they embarrassed the conference. And yes, while the Arizona State versus Texas game 2 years ago, or I guess a year ago, was fun, nobody cares about that. All they care about is the Big 12's record in the 12-team college football playoff, which is now 0-2. They're going to point to that. They're going to say, you can't compete with us. You don't deserve more spots in the playoff. Why would we let you in if you can't win a game?
Right.
Miami, BYU fans and Big 12 fans were sitting here saying that BYU should be in over Miami. They're in the semis.
Yeah.
They've proved they belong.
Can we give another technical foul to the Alabama Roll Tide?
Sure.
The Crimson Tide, or whatever you want to call them. They should have not been there to begin with. I know that the committee's like, we're not going to punish people because of conference championship losses. It's just not fair to those teams. But Alabama should have never been there to begin with. They're a 3-loss team.
Yes.
They lost to an FSU who we now know did not look good all season long.
I agree.
They shouldn't have been there. And I'm not a fan of the way Notre Dame reacted to the whole situation. But hindsight's 20/20. But Notre Dame should have been over Alabama. I'm sorry, they should have.
BYU should have been in over Alabama.
Yeah, I can make an argument for BYU.
This playoff is messy. I mean, we still have yet to get a playoff where, and it's even in the NFL playoffs, right? Not every game is entertaining, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of them are.
I do give credit. I do give credit. There's the quarterfinals this year, I think, were a lot funner than they were last year. And I think that mostly has to do with what a fun game Ohio State and Miami was.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed that game, despite Ohio State's offense falling flat on their face, too, in that first half. And the Ole Miss Georgia game, man, was incredible.
Right.
Best game of the bunch. It did suck to see an SEC versus SEC quarterfinal. But Ole Miss, man, despite all the turmoil, despite not having a head coach, despite, or I guess losing their head coach, despite, half the coordinators on that team being already out the door thinking about the LSU job, to go and beat Georgia in such a phenomenal fashion, I thought that was a super fun game. That was amazing to watch. But Alabama and Texas Tech, technical fouls on you guys for giving us bad performances.
Miami, Ole Miss next Thursday. Indiana, Oregon next Friday.
Yeah.
Semis.
Indiana national championship.
Yeah, they
They're
have
champions.
They have a pretty clear path there.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We got to take a break. Coming up next, we will get back to Morgan Scalley and the University of Utah. Kind of some more takeaways from the Las Vegas Bowl, but also what's next as the transfer portal is open and Utah looking for a new identity on offense.
Looks like there's somebody on the defensive line from Utah who's now in the portal.
We'll get to that next. Stick with us. It's the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Whether you're stuck in the office,
I believe you have my stapler,
in your car, or at your in-laws.
You want a piece of me? You bet I do.
The Zone is with you every step of the way. Download the KSL Sports app to get live streaming of your favorite shows and access to all the latest updates on your favorite teams. Your home for the best coverage of the Utes, Cougars, Jazz, and Mammoth is on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I love seeing the old gang at these reunions.
Did you see Brian? He's in better shape than he was 25 years ago. How is that even possible?
Yep, I ran into him a few weeks ago and had to ask. He told me he started taking Nugenix Total T2.
The testosterone booster?
Yeah, but it's way more than that now. It also skyrockets your nitric oxide in as little as 3 hours. I started taking it right away and I'm already seeing results.
I was wondering what you were doing. You seriously crushed me in that pickup game last week.
Yep, after 40, energy, strength, drive, it all starts going downhill. But with T2, I feel like my old self again. Stronger, leaner, and my energy is way up. My wife even noticed a difference. They're giving out complimentary bottles right now. Just send them a text.
Text TAP to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of new Nugenix Total T2. Text now and you'll also get a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator. That's TAP to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Product not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus, 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing. Mom, how do you feel? I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
The KSL Sports Zone is your home for live local sports. Listen tonight as the Utah Jazz play the Golden State Warriors in California. The game tips off at 8 o'clock on 97.5 The Zone. Tomorrow, the Utah Mammoth play the Rangers in Madison Square Garden in New York, 5 o'clock. Listen on 1280 The Zone. The Utah Jazz play the Portland Trailblazers at 8 o'clock on 97.5 The Zone. And if you want to hear your company's name here, email Stephanie Palmer at spalmer@ksl.com and join the winning team at the KSL Sports Zone.
At University of Utah Health, we're mapping DNA to find the cause and the cure. Because 1 in a million is really just one. One person facing one incredibly difficult diagnosis. Looking for one thing: hope. Learn more at uofuhealth.org.
In classrooms across the country, chronic absenteeism is on the rise.
Sophia A., grade 4, absent.
Julio M., grade 6, absent.
Aisha S., grade 12, absent.
These absences are often due to the absence of crucial needs, like transportation, healthcare, a working computer, mental health support. The list goes on.
Olivia H., absent.
Preston L., absent.
Chloe B., absent.
The reasons why they're absent are very real, and yet the solution is someone present to help them along their path. When site coordinators from communities and schools are on hand, they connect kids to the resources they need. And when they do, 99% of students are present and remain in school throughout the year.
Jacob O., grade 10.
Present.
Communities and Schools works directly with students, helping them overcome obstacles to succeed in school and in life. Learn more at communitiesinschools.org. Being present matters.
Broadcasting from the Mountain Home Services Studio, this is 97.5 KZNS FM Colville, 1280 KZNS AM Salt Lake City, and 102.7 KSL FM HD2 Salt Lake City Midvale. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back to the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Christian Esparza and Alex Napolis. Sean producing. I know this one's a FIFA song.
This is a FIFA song.
This is a FIFA song.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great one.
One of my favorites.
That's one thing FIFA does right, man.
You know what? Going back to the FIFA conversation, right, that we had earlier, I've played every FIFA since 08. And they used to have banger soundtracks. Like, half of my music taste, as far as, like, finding, like, indie artists and, like, songs like this, a lot of it I give credit to FIFA. But the last couple editions of the game, man, the soundtrack has been garbage.
Really?
They've been bad. It got so bad to the point where the last FIFA, the 25 one, that just came out last year, I turned off the soundtrack.
Really?
Yeah. They had Ice Spice in there, man. Ain't nobody trying to listen to no Ice Spice. Come on now.
Come on. Yeah, I think all of the sports video games are going down in quality.
I 100% agree.
Let's get back to people who will actually listen.
Yes.
Morgan Scally dominated Nebraska in the Las Vegas Bowl, 44-22. Got off to a little bit of a scary start, right? With Nebraska having 75 rushing yards on their first drive and like 157 in the first quarter alone. And we don't necessarily need to recap the game, but after that first quarter, Utah's defense really kind of turned on. The offense started clicking. Devin Dampier played the game of his life. And I just think it was a really, really good welcoming party for Morgan Scally amidst all of this chaos, amidst all of the noise that's going on. And we knew that Jason Beck was leaving, although it hadn't been announced yet. He stuck around to coach that game, and they did really good. And I think that was an excellent way to start off the Morgan Scally era, although he hasn't technically been introduced to Utah media yet.
Technically hasn't, but he has. I mean, he had a couple of media availabilities down there in Vegas. But you're absolutely right. I thought it was a great performance from Utah. Phenomenal way to cap off the season. To get your 11th win, I think that's a great platform to now bounce yourself into next season and to get ready for next season. The defense, it got scary there in the first quarter. I'm not gonna lie. down 14-7 at the end of the first quarter. The Nebraska running back has 75 yards in that first quarter. It looked like Utah again was going to find some troubles in stopping the run. Phenomenal adjustments made by the defense in that heading into that second quarter. And heading into that third quarter, in the third quarter, they held Nebraska to just 20 yards offensively.
Yeah.
Which I thought was massive. And Morgan Scally 1-0 as a head coach, and a great way for Utah to start building for next season.
He will hold his first official press conference Tuesday, January 6th. That's
right.
when he will be, I guess, introduced or whatever. I mean, yeah, it's hard to say introduced because he's been, he's coached the game. And like you said, he's had a few media availabilities already. But Tuesdays will be his first official one at, in Salt Lake, I guess.
Yeah.
I would expect an offensive coordinator by then, I would think.
By Tuesday.
Because, like you mentioned, the portal's open,
Yeah.
right? You got to make a hire fast. You can't sit on your hands for this one. So I think it would make sense to have your staff wrapped up and ready to be announced for then, or at least working towards that. But again, that's just speculation on my end. I do like, we're already seeing some differences from Kyle Whittingham and Morgan Scally, right? Like you think of Whit, and yeah, we saw him get fired up a few times, right? Thrown in the chair after the BYU loss.
That's right.
He got pretty feisty, but Morgan Scally is just a bundle of energy, and anybody who has watched him play or watched him roam the sidelines kind of knows that. But he reminds me a lot of Sean McVay from the Rams, just because he's always so amped and like jacked and ready to go. And he's pretty muscular. He's a fit looking guy. He was ready to pop out of that suit the other day. But like when he talks, man, you can just tell he's so passionate about what he's doing and he's so excited. And
right.
Again, it's a little different from Whit. So that's what we're going to do over the next few years, right? Is pick apart these things and, oh yeah, he's doing that differently than Kyle Whittingham. He's doing that differently. Oh, he's different in this way. And eventually, yeah, he is going to make his mark on this program because he is Morgan Scally and he's not Kyle Whittingham. So
right.
I think already in just the first couple of weeks, it's been interesting to kind of see Morgan and what he's doing as the head coach. I think, again, after this first game, I'm really encouraged.
I mean, excuse me, I think that was a big topic of conversation in the post-game press conference. They were talking about the emotions, and Morgan Scally said, "Hey, look, I'm not afraid to wear my emotions on my sleeves," and that was a big driving talking point during the post-game press conference, which I found interesting. Right, immediately saying, "Hey, I'm a much more emotional guy."
Yeah.
And you can see it. You can see the way that he fires up guys on the sideline. Every time the camera showed him, it seemed like he was fired up, and a different, I guess, I don't know if younger is the right word, but a younger energy on that sideline now. And you can see it in Morgan Scally, and it's fun to watch.
It's not like Whit didn't have energy, right?
No.
We know that he had like a gym regimen, and it was down to a T. Every day he'd be on the walking machine or whatever.
Right.
At the same time, but yeah, Scally, he's like you said. And in fact, let's hear from Scally. This is what he had to say in the postgame.
I wear my emotions on my sleeve. I grew up a Utah man. My dad played at the University of Utah, had family play at the University of Utah, go to the University of Utah, and I grew up, running around in those tunnels at Rice Stadium when it wasn't Rice-Eccles Stadium, and he had the black top and let me wear my Little League jersey just to get into the game for free. And I've seen it transition. I've been there through all of it, and I've never, my dream has always been to take it to the highest level. The one thing that I'm so grateful for is that my logo has never changed, nor will it.
Whew. That's what you want to hear as a Utah fan right now, right? Like,
yeah,
it's hard.
It's a great way to get fired up.
When you've got this guy that was here for so long and he leaves for another job, and again, you don't blame him, but it stings, it hurts. It's going to hurt for quite some time. And so what do you want to hear from the next man? You want to hear, this is what I want. This is all I will ever want. And I'm not going to go anywhere.
Right.
Whether that ends up being true in 21 years or not, who cares? But right now, you've got a guy who wants to be here, and that's what matters. He he just seems like he's ready for this and happy and excited to be here. And that's the other thing, is ready, because how long was he the coach in waiting, right?
Right.
And this was a topic that we kind of got into in previous weeks. There's a reason why he was the coach in waiting. And now we've seen him coach a game. Still, next year's still going to be his first season. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be growing pains, right? But there's a reason why he was the coach in waiting, man. This athletic department and this program believes in him to be the next guy.
Yeah. There's a reason why he had the vote of confidence from a Kyle Whittingham.
Yeah.
To be the next guy to lead this program. And again, off to a phenomenal start, but the question now is, how different is it going to look heading into next season, right? Obviously, in this game, you can still rely on Jason Beck in that offense. Obviously, you can still rely on a Devin Dampier, on whoever, on all those players on defense, right? The Smith Snowden, the Taylor Johnson. But how does that look next season now if those guys aren't there, right? And obviously, you already have to replace that coaching staff we talked about in the opening segment. How different does it look now? And I think that's where you'll probably see some of those growing pains, is as Morgan Scalley figures out who's going to fill up that staff and who's going to replace some of those key guys, like a Smith Snowden, like a Taylor Johnson, like some of these guys who have jumped into the portal. I think that's where you'll see some of those growing pains come from. But I think patience is ultimately the way to go with Morgan Scalley, because I think in the end Utah's going to be okay. Utah's going to be good. I trust Morgan Scalley will make the right hires necessary to keep this offense competitive, and Morgan Scalley is ultimately just the perfect guy to be the guy to follow the guy.
You brought up guys wanting to be here, and I think that's a great point to get into. Something I've changed my mind on over the past couple of days. I used to get so annoyed with, players will announce when they're entering the portal, right?
Yeah.
Which is fine. Put out a post, let everybody know. That's letting the other schools know, whatever. I used to get so annoyed when players would put out posts announcing that they're returning.
With that being said, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm assuming you're returning. If you're not entering the portal, then yeah, duh, you're returning. Right. But in this case, with honestly both BYU and Utah and all the turnover they're having, I do think that sending out those "I'm coming back" messages is a big deal, and it's needed.
It's a big boost.
Because it's a confidence thing, not only for the fans, but also your teammates. Like you see Parker Kingston for BYU yesterday put out a post that he's returning.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal. Falatau Satuala came out and said he's returning. That eases the minds of every Cougar fan out there and everybody else on that defense who knows how good of a player Satuala is.
Yes.
And when you're a BYU fan losing sleep at night because you've got this star player on defense that may be going to Michigan, but he puts those rumors to rest, getting out ahead of it and putting out a message, that's great. And you've got a couple Utah players also announcing their back. Creed Whittemore announced on Instagram. Wide receiver had some big plays. Dylan Curtis, the kicker, put out he's coming back. So it's good to know. That's a good message to put out right now when there's just all of this unknown.
I think a lot of it has to do with. I think a lot of it comes to easing the fan base too.
Right.
Because you look at. Right. Let's compare right now, real quick. BYU and Utah. You look at BYU, right? You have Keanu Tanuvasa, Parker Kingston, Falatau Satuala, Siala Isera. Who else announced yesterday? Purcell just announced this morning that he's coming back, and so you have a bunch of guys who. Andrew Gentry announced that he's coming back. Ryder DeMooney announced that he's coming back. Right, those are guys that I think played big parts of BYU season this season and have potential to be even better next season. Right, those and I feel like for BYU fans, in a sense where you're losing Jay Hill, and now obviously the reports coming out of Gennaro Guilford, like that could lead to essentially unrest in the fan base of saying we just lost these coaches, now we're going to lose players.
Yeah.
But instead you have players coming out and saying, look, we're running it back, we're coming back next season, and I feel like that eases fans a little bit. Now, on the contrary, you look at the Utah side, they just lost a bunch of offensive coaches. We haven't heard from many offensive players about whether they're staying or going yet, but you do have on the defensive side of the ball guys like Smith Snowden, Taylor Johnson. I haven't seen an official announcement yet, but 24/7 Sports is saying that Dallas Vakalahi has jumped into the portal. And you saw the reaction from Utah fans yesterday, right?
Yeah.
It was the sky is falling.
Understandably, it's hard.
And so I think that because you have guys like Satuala, Ryder Damouni, big names for BYU jumping on social media and saying, "Hey, we're running it back," that I feel like that does a lot to ease the fan base. But now you have the Utah side of it where it seems we haven't had very many announcements. I think the only two so far you've seen from Utah going back is Dylan Curtis, the pride of Murray High School, Dylan Curtis coming back, and then you have Creed Whittemore saying he's coming back. But those are the only two.
Yeah, you'd like to see something from Wayshawn Parker. You'd like to see something from J.J. Buchanan. That's a big one. I honestly think.
To ease some of that fan base.
Yeah, I think both of those guys are huge and would be huge returns for Utah. But again, like if you're not comfortable right now with no offensive coordinator, you don't know what this scheme is going to look like. Why would you announce you're coming back? So I get it. And that's why, again, if you're Utah, if you're Morgan Scalley, you want to get this hire done fast. Don't rush it to the point where you make the wrong hire, right? You still want to get the right guy, but the portal's open, and the longer that you wait on a hire, not only are you going to miss out on bringing people here, but your players are going to start thinking about putting their name into the portal. So I don't know, man. Utah does have some interesting talent on offense that I'd like to see return.
Wayshawn Parker being one.
Yeah, and Bird Ficklin and or Devin Dampier as well. I think you've got a solid foundation of offensive pieces that could potentially work in a lot of different schemes, right?
Yeah.
PNW Ute chiming in on YouTube. He said, as good as Utah's offense was this year, it can be better. More RPO, spread out the snaps, use the players more who are hot, and if you have a QB playing as running back, have him throw some trick passes. I agree, yeah. I mean, it's hard to say an offense can get more productive than what Utah's offense was last year, especially if we're to believe that Devin Dampier really was playing hurt and you had so many limitations at wide receiver and you had 2 first-round picks playing at your offensive tackle. Like, it really sounds like that offense was probably as good as it possibly could have been last year. But if you're bringing in a new coordinator with a new system, it is going to look different.
Yeah.
So there are ways to be effective. There are many ways to have a good offense in college football. It's not just the read option that we saw last year with Devin Dampier. So again, I think any coach coming in, if these guys stay around, you've got a stud running back who's going to be, he was almost 1,000 yards this year. They almost got him to it in Wayshawn Parker. I think you got a really good tight end in J.J. Buchanan. The ceiling is very, very high there. You've got some offensive linemen that have been in this system playing for Coach Harding that haven't hit the portal yet and should be developed into, good products. So, again, the foundation is there. And then you've got Bird Ficklin, man, such an unknown. Can he be a passer? But even if he never reaches his ceiling as a passer, he's still such a dynamo on the ground.
Yeah.
I think any offensive coordinator would see those pieces and be like, oh, yeah, that's something to work with.
Absolutely.
Not to mention, if a guy like Arroyo comes in, he could bring guys from Arizona State.
Absolutely.
So I think I agree with PNW Ute. I think what he's trying to say is, yeah, Utah's offense was pretty, I don't want to say a one-trick pony last year, but they had 1 or 2 things that really worked, and they stuck to those, and for a good reason, because they did really, really work.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, man.
Right.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But there are a lot of options.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with this portal and the offensive coordinator hire, man, but I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily be worried that you're not getting more Utah players announcing that they're coming back. I think Utah had a lot more senior talent that was leaving to the draft anyways, right? But then you're seeing other key players like John Henry Daly and Smith Snowden and Teo Johnson hitting the portal. So you would like to have some reassurance in that sense.
Absolutely. Again, we see it on the BYU side. A lot of fans on social media yesterday happy to see someone like Falatas Atuala, who had been phenomenal, announce that he's coming back. And I think, to put some Utah fans at ease, it might be good to hear someone at that caliber at Utah say, hey, we're running it back next season. That would probably ease a lot of the the unsettling, the unrest on social media from Utah fans right now.
Yeah, it just feels like the longer that this starts boiling, I guess, like it's simmering right now and it's about to hit a boil.
Yeah.
You got to take it off the heat real quick.
Oh, yeah.
To use a cooking reference there. But I don't know, man. There's so much talent on this Utah roster, and it's starting to bleed out by guys hitting the portal. They gotta do something.
Man. We've talked about it in the postgame shows. Like there's a lot of young talent on that team. A lot of guys who you expect to come back and underclass. Daniel Braid. Like no one's talking about Daniel Braid, but
actually he put a tweet out. You see that?
No. What do you say?
He I think it was a stat line from the Las Vegas Bowl. Let me pull up the box score for that,
because
it was a picture of a box score and it said 1 carry for 3 yards.
Yeah,
and I'm assuming
I was gonna say
that was his box score for the Las Vegas Bowl. So you got a player in Daniel Bray who had some big moments this season.
Right.
He didn't say anything with the picture. He just put out the picture, 1 carry for 3 yards. So I'm going to read between the lines and assume that he wasn't happy with his usage during the Las Vegas Bowl, and I get that.
Right.
So, yeah, that opens up questions. If he's unhappy, is he going to hit the portal? He hasn't hit the portal yet. We'll see.
If it's kind of a weird spot for Utah right now because it is a kind of wait and we'll see. Because you have to have the
everybody else is
waiting.
Everybody's
waiting on the offensive coordinator, and so this is a super imperative time for Utah to hurry and make that hire. But as you said, man, you can't rush it to the point where you miss on the hire. It has to be the right hire.
Yeah.
And we'll see who decides to stay and who decides to go and who decides to come in with the announcement of the offensive coordinator.
Let's see some urgency here.
Yeah.
And the other thing, this Jason Beck was announced to Michigan on Thursday, right? New Year's Day.
That's
immediately
right.
following the bowl game. How long have we known that Jason Beck was going to Michigan?
Right. Well, and then Morgan said they're prepared that there's plans in play because the feeling was that he was going to leave, and so he even said in the postgame press conference that they are prepared for what's to come. And again, he said it, and this is what Morgan Scally had to say about that whole situation.
This is a big-time profession, and if people don't think that we've already been planning, already been looking for the next step, then they don't know us. So we will be prepared for whatever is to come, and we are excited for those that want to be Utes. And bottom line is, we hope all these guys in that locker room continue to be here.
So whether that's in regard to players, whether that's in regard to the coaching staff, you hope that announcement comes sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and that's how you're good at this, right? Is preparing for all of your scenarios. And if you're starting to hear rumblings that your offensive coordinator might leave to Michigan and join Kyle Whittingham, you start looking for replacements then.
Yeah.
I'm sure that when Morgan Scally took over as head coach in waiting, he probably has a short list or a medium list of coordinators in his back pocket.
Where's that list from last season, man?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not like Morgan Scally just barely started looking for an offensive coordinator on Thursday. I mean, he has probably known this move was probably going to happen for about a week and a half or 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
So that's plenty of time to start talking to some guys, ruffling some feathers. And then once you get out and do some official interviews, that should expedite the process. So, yeah, again, this got to see some urgency. Got to get this hire soon so you can start retaining your offensive talent and bringing guys into the portal and replenishing your roster. That's the next step.
Absolutely.
All right, we got to take a break. Coming up next, we'll get to 5 minutes of, talk about a few other things in the world of sports. We'll hit some Utah Jazz, some Utah Mammoth, and more. Stick with us. It's the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
I don't like the pretty boy Rams coach.
Okay. I mean, Vikings very much have a pretty boy coach as well, right?
Not like the pretty boy coach.
You put him in L.A. and he's a pretty boy. That's the only difference. One of them lives in the Midwest and one of them lives in Los Angeles.
Except for the Rams one, McShay or whatever, whatever, was the first one that inspired all these other pretty coaches.
Yeah.
Kingsbury. Yeah. They put on the statement when they announced that Kingsbury was hired at Arizona that he was friends with McNugget.
Why? I'm right. Give me an ugly head coach.
I mean, then the Vikings.
Will Hardy's doomed.
The Vikings follow suit, hiring a pretty coach. What's the deal? What's his name in Green Bay? He's a pretty boy too, isn't he? LaFleur? What's his name?
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me a dog.
Bill Cowher, ugly guy.
Ugly dude. Belichick.
Ugly guy.
He's pulling 24-year-olds. Ugly guy.
Hear Jake Scott and Ben Anderson every day from 10 to noon on 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
This is Carla Hall for Eggland's Best. Eggs are a staple in our diets, and there's only one egg with more delicious farm-fresh taste plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best. With more vitamins, including 6 times more vitamin D and 10 times more vitamin E, plus 25% less saturated fat than ordinary eggs. Available in so many delicious varieties. We've got classic, cage-free, organic, free-range, and pasture-raised. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Held over due to popular demand. This is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Mountain America Expo Center. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, today through Sunday. Mountain America Expo Center. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. Mountain America Expo Center. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. Mountain America Expo Center. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Hot tub starting at $2,999. Mountain America Expo Center. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. Today through Sunday. Mountain America Expo Center. Today, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. Mountain America Expo Center. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandswimspasale.com.
The KSL Sports Zone is your home for live local sports. Listen tonight as the Utah Jazz play the Golden State Warriors in California. The game tips off at 8 o'clock on 97.5 The Zone. Tomorrow, the Utah Mammoth play the Rangers in Madison Square Garden in New York, 5 o'clock. Listen on 1280 The Zone. The Utah Jazz play the Portland Trailblazers at 8 o'clock on 97.5 The Zone. And if you want to hear your company's name here, email Stephanie Palmer at spalmer@ksl.com and join the winning team at the KSL Sports Zone.
Attention Jazz Nation. The long wait is finally over. Mountain basketball is back and better than ever. Let's go! All tickets are on sale now, and you won't want to miss the action. Jump on the opportunity to watch your favorite players live and in person. Whether you're after season tickets, mini plans, or single game matchups, the Utah Jazz has got your back. There's a plan for every fan. Don't miss out. Secure your seats today and be part of the excitement all season long. Let's go! Visit UtahJazz.com today.
It's that time again.
5.
5. 5. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Only 5 minutes.
Everybody got that?
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
Get on with it.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Yes, get on with it.
Welcome back to the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Christian Esparza and Alex Napolis. We got 5 minutes of. A lot to talk about still. Not a ton of time, so we're going to go rapid fire today, Alex. Big 12 basketball conference play starting today. Oklahoma State at number 15, Texas Tech, is live right now. Texas Tech is up 29-16 halfway through the first half. BYU is going to tip off here shortly at Kansas State.
Yep.
Number 10 ranked BYU. Still only one loss on the season. That was the UConn. So We'll see how the Cougs can run through this conference, this Big 12 schedule, man. It is a gauntlet. I think last year Big 12 was maybe the best conference in basketball.
Yeah.
I think this year there's no doubt.
I think that, absolutely. They're in another position to have multiple teams be successful in the tournament, quite frankly. And I mean, you have the number 1 team in Arizona, who's also in town tonight. They'll be up at the Huntsman Center at 2 p.m. tip-off against Utah. But you have the number 1 team in the nation in this conference. You have number 17 Kansas, number 8 Houston, obviously BYU. Texas Tech has also looked really, really good. There's a lot of teams who I think can win the Big 12 in this season and obviously make some noise in the tournament.
It could be a bloodbath.
Yeah, it's a lot of really good basketball in this conference.
Yeah, Alex Jensen, first Big 12 basketball game as head coach.
Yeah, and what a test, man.
Yeah, the number 1 team in the country.
What a test.
At 2. So if your Saturday afternoon is clear, head on up there. Arizona State 18.5-point favorites.
Yep. Undefeated.
Yeah.
Undefeated on the year.
Really good team.
Yep.
Let's get to, we got to talk NFL playoffs, man. We were talking about this during the break. A couple big games today. I forgot that they do Saturday games at the this time of the year just because there's so much else going on. Panthers at Bucks at 2:30. That decides the fate of the NFC South. If the Panthers win this game, they are the champs. If the Bucks win, they also need a Saints win over the Falcons, and then they will be the champs.
Yep.
Big game there. Even bigger game tonight at 6. Seahawks at 49ers to determine the number 1 seed in the entire NFC.
I think that one I'm most excited about.
That is going to be a fun game.
That one I'm most excited about. Obviously, huge implications for the NFC West, the NFC in general, and it should be a really fun game, man. Sam Darnold, what a story.
Yeah.
Who would have thought back-to-back years that he'd be competing for the number 1 seed in the NFC?
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah. With different teams.
We'll see if he does the same thing back-to-back years, which is completely fall apart in the last regular season game and then in the playoffs.
It's possible. I think I like the 49ers in this one tonight, man.
And you guys brought up a good point. The 49ers, if they win this game, I mean, they're at home today, but if they win this game, they'll secure home field advantage, not just in the playoffs, but potentially in the Super Bowl as well, because the Super Bowl is at Levi Stadium.
Don't say that, man.
So that would be, there's a lot of implications riding on that.
You're getting Sean excited behind the glass. Look at him. He's smiling over there, man.
What other big games? Sunday, a lot of teams resting their starters. You know, that's how it goes. Ravens at Steelers tomorrow night, Sunday Night Football. That determines the AFC North, so that could be a fun game. Lamar Jackson is back after missing last week. Aaron Rodgers might be his last game ever, right? If they lose and they're out of the playoffs, he could decide to retire. So that could have some interest there. Any other games catching your eye?
Not really. I think, I mean, obviously there's still some seeding stuff in play, but I think the most important ones are obviously the 2 happening today for the final playoff spot in the NFC, and then of course the number 1 seed, and then you have tomorrow playing for the final playoff spot in the AFC. So those are probably the ones that I'm looking at the most.
The Raiders could lock up the number 1 pick with a loss to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes and Gardner Minshew still out, so 3rd-string quarterback for the Chiefs against Geno Smith. I saw they're still not sure if Geno Smith is going to play because he's like banged up or something. They're trying to trick us. It's like one of those things like with the Jazz with tanking, right? Like, hey, if you want to lose that game, you better put Geno Smith out there.
Well, I mean, everybody's seen the videos of Max Crosby hooping up right after he got put on the IR.
Yeah.
And basically sending a message saying, hey, I'm actually not hurt. And
he's got to get out of there, dude.
And so I thought that was hilarious. But yes, I think the best quarterback in this game is going to be Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. That hurts to say. Utah Mammoth. Let's switch over to the NHL. Utah Mammoth started off 2026 with a bang. They decimated the Islanders 7-2, which is crazy, right? You're playing in New York on New Year's Day. I was seeing some people joking, like, was it John Marino, I think, was saying that he only stayed out till like 10 or 10:30, like not celebrating New Year's Eve in New York. If that's true, good for you. I mean, clearly something worked. Yeah, they win 7-2. Dylan Gunther gets his first career hat trick.
Love it.
That was a matinee game. They're also playing some matinee action today here. Not here. Today at 1 at New Jersey.
Yeah. I think it's a great way to start 2026. I almost said 2024 for some reason. 2026. Great way to start this. Great way to start the new year. You get the 72 win. Dylan Gunther hat trick was phenomenal. Clayton Keller heading over to the Olympic roster, man. That was a great announcement to get yesterday morning.
That was huge, and it's very well deserved for Clayton Keller. Obviously, when the rosters for the Four Nations face-off last year were announced, I think there were a lot of not just Utah Mammoth fans, or at the time Utah Hockey Club fans, there were a lot of national people saying, hey, this Clayton Keller guy was snubbed. He was left off the roster, and he should have been there. And we saw Keller lead Team USA to a World Championships gold medal, which was awesome, right? Their first one in like 90 years or something, and he was captain of that squad.
Yeah.
But his play hasn't been as good as it was last year, this year. Obviously, he's been dealing with some personal issues with the passing of his father and things like that, and it's so hard to play through that. But I also wonder if maybe the weight of this Team USA was kind of weighing on him, like being so worried about
making
this roster and being left off again, because it's such a great opportunity, I would imagine, right, to represent your country in the Olympics.
Yeah.
And again, this is the first time in like 12 years, I think, that the Olympics has allowed professional players to play. So to be a part of that team, to get that call and say, hey, we want you to wear the red, white, and blue. Like, all of these players grew up watching Miracle, right? And now you get to go do that. That's awesome. And so I hope that the 2026 Clayton Keller we see after the Olympic break just comes out scorched earth and scores a ton of points and helps the Mammoth make the playoffs, because he deserves that.
Yeah.
With everything he's gone through, man. So special opportunity for Clayton Keller.
Absolutely happy for Clayton. Well earned, well deserved. But even before you get to the Olympic break, this is a super important and super vital month for the Utah Mammoth coming up, man. You have obviously the road trip that over on the East Coast that you're finishing up, right? You have Jersey today. You play the Rangers on Monday, but then you have 7 straight at home. You go Ottawa, St. Louis, Columbus, Toronto, Dallas, Seattle, and Philadelphia, all here at Delta Center through the course of the month of January. And right now the Mammoths sit 2 points out of a wild card spot, sitting at 19-19, 3 overtime losses. I feel like this team has just been really inconsistent.
Yeah.
And so this month, where you have 7 straight at home, you have to pick up a good string of wins and continue to position yourself in a wild card spot. They're right there, but they are currently sitting out of the wild card spot.
It's crazy. Veggie is actually one of the win leaders in the NHL, like of the goalie. I think he's top 5 because he was put on the IR for a little bit. He's back. Obviously was there the other day against the Islanders. So seems like when Veggie's on the ice, again, he's not a perfect goaltender. Everybody's got some flaws, but the Mammoth have not been able to find consistency as far as, okay, their goaltender's hot, let's get some scoring to put some points on the board. Okay, we're scoring a lot. Oh, our defense and our goalie's giving up a lot of points. You know, they got to find ways for all 3 phases plus the special teams to start working together. Power play got back on track against the Islanders. Before that, it was absolutely putrid. Nobody was wanting to shoot the puck at all.
Yeah.
Just want to see some more aggressiveness. Shoot the puck, man. I'd much rather be happy with a shot that's blocked than everybody passing around and then nothing happens.
Right. I'm excited to see what the Mammoth are able to do this next month. Again, it's a super important stretch of the season. You got to make sure that I feel like for the Mammoth to kind of have a little bit of the weight off their shoulders, I feel like you need to be in a wild card spot heading into that Olympic break.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, like I said, you're 2 points out. So you're right there, but you are currently sitting out of the wild card.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you come home from this East Coast road trip, and then you're sitting nice with 7 home games in a row. So basically all of January, starting next week. Go catch some Mammoth action.
Absolutely.
We got to take a break. Coming up next, we will wrap things up, hit the schedule for the station the rest of the day, talk a little bit of Utah Jazz as well. It's a Saturday show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is JJ and Alex.
I got this.
I wonder what the next version of Utah football looks like, because I think that people think that it's going to be a one-to-one comparison between Morgan Scalley and Kyle Whittingham. Why is it not one-to-one, though?
They're not the same person. They're not the same personality.
Scalley's more fun? Is that what you'd say? The funner conversations I've ever had in my life between those two coaches is definitely Morgan Scalley, but he had a lot less on his plate.
Let me tell you about Morgan Scalley. The dude worked hard in the classroom. He worked hard in the field. He worked hard in everything he did. The dude just goes hard with everything he does, and nothing surprises me about where he is today. He's going to attack this job in a way that others don't because of the passion he has for the school and for the program. Morgan is totally 100% invested in Utah succeeding and Utah being great. He loves Utah, is my point. I think you get what I'm talking about. He's a Utah man.
Catch JJ and Alex afternoons from 3 to 7 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Did you know bad bacteria causes cavities and tooth decay? Did you know bad bacteria feed off residue left by sugary foods and drinks? Keep your family healthy. Your smile matters.
Be sure to brush 2 times daily for at least 2 minutes with fluoride toothpaste.
Floss once a day and limit sugary foods and drinks like sweetened juices, candies, and sodas.
Even sugar-free carbonated drinks can be harmful to teeth. Be sure to visit your dentist for regular checkups and cleanings. If you don't have a dentist, visit yoursmileutah.org for more information on community dental services. This message is brought to you by Utah Oral Health Coalition, Utah Dental Association, University of Utah School of Dentistry, the Utah Department of Health and Human Services, and other Utah health partners. Remember, a healthy smile means a healthier life. Learn more at yoursmileutah.org.
Because your smile matters.
The KSL Sports Zone is your home for live local sports. Listen tonight as the Utah Jazz play the Golden State Warriors in California. The game tips off at 8 o'clock on 97.5 The Zone. Tomorrow, the Utah Mammoth play the Rangers in Madison Square Garden in New York, 5 o'clock. Listen on 1280 The Zone. The Utah Jazz play the Portland Trailblazers at 8 o'clock on 97.5 The Zone. And if you want to hear your company's name here, email Stephanie Palmer at spalmer@ksl.com and join the winning team at the KSL Sports Zone.
Are you ready for a new you in the new year? The Salt Lake City Fat Loss Program has helped thousands of frustrated men and women feel confident in their clothes, boost their energy, and finally feel like themselves again. So, what's the secret? Salt Lake City Fat Loss uses a science-proven plan to help reset your metabolism and lose up to 1 pound of fat per day without dangerous drugs or exercise. And right now is the perfect time to start. Due to overwhelming demand, Salt Lake City Fat Loss has extended their huge New Year's sale, over 20% off for a limited time only.
JJ here. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. Alex Curie here. I dropped 50 pounds in 60 days on the SLC Fat Loss program. Get their New Year's special at slcfatloss.com.
Whether you want to love what you see in the mirror again, boost your energy, fit better in your clothes, or feel more confident and healthier as you age, Salt Lake City Fat Loss works. Huge New Year's sale is ending soon. Schedule your free consultation today at slcfatloss.com and lock in your savings. That's slcfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, Max, you look absolutely dashing in that purple tie. Ready to harness the world?
You bet, Daisy. I'm ready as I'll ever be. And might I say, your purple tie really pops with your vest.
Thanks. I almost went with a cape, but didn't want to come across as pretentious.
Nonsense. Anyone in our line of work should rock a cape.
You might be onto something, Max.
Phew, so here we go. First day on the job. You've got this, right?
Right. Don't forget, we both graduated from Dogs Inc. with honors.
Which means I can guide my human around a busy city with ease.
And I can give my human a restful night.
I hope my human is kind and loving.
And I hope mine likes wet kisses and zoomies.
Ready to make a difference?
Born ready. Let's go.
Discover how extraordinary dogs like Daisy and Max change lives at no cost to the recipients. Visit dogsinc.org.
Get the latest Utah sports headlines delivered to your inbox with the KSL Sports Newsletter. From the Jazz, Utah Hockey Club, BYU, Utah, Real Salt Lake, and more. Be in the know of all things sports in the state of Utah. Visit KSLSports.com to sign up for the KSL Sports Newsletter.
Hey, this is Chris with JCW's. Are your kids picky eaters? Bring them in and try our chicken fingers or a grilled cheese sandwich. They'll be smiling big in no time. JCW's, quality and a lot of it.
Welcome back to the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, putting another bow on another show. First one of 2026.
Yeah, hey, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed the new year. Stick to those resolutions. Keep pushing.
You got it.
Absolutely.
Jazz playing later today. It's a late one. They are going to be at Golden State, 7 p.m. pregame, 8 p.m. tip. Golden State had a bunch of players miss their game yesterday, and I mean, like, all of their players, like Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Draymond Green. Yeah. So we'll see what that looks like. The Jazz also sat a ton of players in their most recent game against the Clippers. Kyle Anderson was the lead scorer, I think, and Cody Williams had a career game. Yusuf Nurkic went off. So we could see a couple of tanking teams tonight. I don't know if Golden State's tanking, I guess, but they do rest their old guys sometimes. It's like a retirement home over there. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what the Jazz decide to do. That loss to the Clippers was huge as far as draft standings, because not only do you improve the Clippers' chances at falling out of the top 5, right? You improve your chances of rising into that top 5, top 6 spot where you want to be, so the Jazz can hold on to their pick. Remember, the Clippers owe their pick to Oklahoma City, so the entire NBA wants the Clippers to do as good as they can this year, so the Thunder don't get a top pick.
Absolutely. Keontae George, man, get him to the All-Star.
Yeah,
I'm sold. Everything that I've seen the last month or so from Keontae George has been incredible. I think he deserves an All-Star nod this year.
You'd like to see it. The first round All-Star voting did come out the other day. He was not in the top 20 players.
He was not.
In vote getters. In the fan vote, right? I think the fan vote is only like 50% of the equation or something. And it is a new format this year. They're doing best 8 international players and then 2 other teams of 8 on United States players. Lauri Markkanen was just outside those 8 international players. I think he was number 9 or number 10 in votes.
That's right.
So Lauri right now just on the cusp of an All-Star selection. We'll see if Keontae stays hot. It's going to be hard to leave him off.
Absolutely. He's been phenomenal, though. We'll see if I haven't seen the updated availability, so I'm not sure if he's available for the Utah Jazz tonight. But regardless, I think Keontae George, the development that we've seen for him, man, has been phenomenal, and I think that he deserves to have some sort of recognition like that, whether it's the All-Star or just something, because we were looking at the top 20 scorers on JJ and Alex the other day, and apparently both Lauri Markkanen and Keontae George are top 20 scorers right now in the NBA.
Keontae's last 9 games, he's averaging over 30 points a game on 45% from 3. I think 40, I don't remember. He was almost 50-40-90.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, and averaging 30 points a game over his last 9, and that's ridiculous. The injury report has not been updated for today. Yesterday, it has Ace Bailey listed as out for today with his hip injury. Yusuf Nurkic day-to-day with a toe, Lauri Markkanen day-to-day with a knee, and Keontae George day-to-day with an illness. So those guys will all be questionable, I guess, for today's game. Again, that's yesterday's injury report. Has not been updated today. A late game, so I don't know what time we're going to get that.
Yeah. Overall, though, I mean, you're tied up now with the Clippers, both sitting at 21-12. Utah Jazz sitting in 8th place in the in the reverse order of the standings.
Yeah.
So still in a good spot to potentially keep that a protected pick.
Coming up on the station the rest of the day, Utah Mammoth at New Jersey Devils here at 12. Pregame starting right around the corner, 1 p.m. puck drop. Utah State basketball at San Jose State at 1:30, 2 p.m. tip, and then the Jazz 8 p.m. tip. Catch us next Saturday. It's the Saturday Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Whether you're stuck in the office,
I believe you have my stapler,
in your car, or at your in-laws.
You want a piece of me? You bet I do.
The Zone is with you every step of the way. Download the KSL Sports app to get live streaming of your favorite shows and access to all the latest updates on your favorite teams. Your home for the best coverage of the Utes, Cougars, Jazz, and Mammoth is on air, online, and on the KSL Sports app. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
FIFA World Cup 2026 is coming soon, but your opportunity to be there starts now through an exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card. For a limited time, become a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card holder, and you will be eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more at BofA.com/cardFWC26.